Alright, this is Zachary McAlpin. I do apologize that this is a audio recording, I guess you can say. My laptop microphone is broken. I learned that when I was trying to use Screencastify, and it wouldn't work, and plus that would only give me a 5-minute limit. So I came to my phone, and I will upload this video in the submission box along with my presentation, so that you can view and edit the presentation as opposed to having to click to this video. So this is the acquisition proposition of Nike acquiring Adidas. So a quick overview. Nike is the leading company in the sports world, worth at $32 billion. Over the past decade, it has been at the top in sports apparel, shoes, anything in the sporting company and clothing lines, it's at the top. Second place is Adidas, which is leading roughly half behind Nike at $16 billion. And the only other competition in these clothing and sports brands is Puma, which is at $4.8 billion in revenue as of 2018. And the funny thing is, Puma was originally part of Adidas. So, retrospect, you could say Adidas is at $20 billion, but they are separate companies nonetheless. And a quick statement is that Adidas is on the rise in sales. So it would make sense to acquire them, but it will be difficult because I'm sure they are aware of that. Here we have some charts. This just goes back from 2006 to 2018. Nike, as you can see, and this is in euros, Nike is at the top by over 10% compared to Adidas, and then there's Puma at the bottom. It's just to show where the competition is, and Nike is, of course, at the top. In the early 2010s and 11, they were pretty close with each other, but we separated pretty well. We have a good foot ahead of them. Here's another graph, and this one shows that Adidas is higher than us on the stock market value, and that is honestly because once you reach a certain point on Mount Everest, there's not much higher you can go, and that's where Nike is right now. So yes, Adidas will continue to climb and make strides, but it will take a while for them to catch up to us. And yes, their value may be worth a lot right now, but Nike is nonetheless the top dog. And it would make sense for us to acquire them because they can help us in assets, revenue, and many other areas as a company. So as a negotiation strategy, we should obviously shoot for the win-win or the win-lose. And the win-lose is where Adidas loses and we win. Lose-lose, unacceptable. The whole point of this acquisition or this deal is to get Adidas. As long as Nike comes out on top, that's all that matters. And there are a few outcomes. We can acquire the whole company, which can happen, but is it realistic? No. Or we can acquire the company and Adidas stays the same for a few years. That would be the most realistic, because you have to keep in mind, if we want to acquire Adidas as a whole company, not only are we acquiring that, but they have sponsorships, deals, shoe deals with many people, many athletes, many celebrities that are still working out right now. So we can't just cancel those and turn them over to Nike right away. And it would also make sense just to have a Nike and Adidas collaboration instead of making it all Nike. And when doing a negotiation, because Adidas is in Germany, you need to be formal, be aware of the time, be on time, time efficient, don't waste their time, be prepared and ready. You need to know what you're going to talk about, what you're going to pitch, and the numbers you're going to use. And I will bring that on these next few slides. And have the facts. Don't bring any what ifs, only facts. I just want the information. So moving on to our distributive negotiation, and this is mainly our reservation points, our target points, our positive bargaining zones. So basically our bargaining zone is between 70 and 100 billion. The highest we should go is 90 to 100 billion. I think that's realistic and what Adidas will probably ask for. Adidas will probably go for 100 to 110 billion. And then the lowest, if we can get them down to 70, 75 billion, take it. If it's in the 75s, take it right away. That is a no-brainer. They have significant upside. There's no question about that. We will make up this money within 5 years. Adidas reservation point, they will not go lower than 80, which is why I say if it's in the 70s, take it right away. But that will probably not happen. So the zones that we are looking for, our positive bargain zone, needs to be between 80 and 90 billion. Going above 90 billion is pushing it and isn't really worth the money right now. They are on the rise, so we can probably get it for a high 80, but if we can get it for a mid 80s or lower, that'd be a good window to take too. And this is a small bargaining window, but we can make this work. We've acquired Converse before and many other companies. We can do this. So the offer, obviously, as I stated, our first offer should be low 80, maybe a mid 80 billion. And then 83 in this first offer should be the highest. So anywhere between 80 and 83. And then this will make them to make their initial offer lower. So for an example, we should go maybe 82 billion. Then they will respond with 95, 97 billion. And then we can go ahead and say, okay, well, how about 86 billion? Then they may bring it down to 92 billion. And then from there, we can just try to talk them down and negotiate with them, just with the facts. And they won't accept the first offer at all. And we'll have to, as I said, talk to convince them. Our company is very successful, and we know what we can do for them. This is why we're trying to have this acquisition. And one issue that both companies may have with each other is the sweatshops issue. Nike has, it has been known, we have had this issue of overpay, lower pay, overworked, and it is the same with Adidas. We both have this issue. So I think knowing our core values and their core values, we can make this work because we have both faced this issue and have overcome it. So this is the only issue other companies have had with us, but we can overlook that and understand this is more of a business standpoint. And then for the concepts, we need to keep the third parties in mind, the bigger picture. As you can see the picture, it's a bigger rock compared to the little scale. Keep the bigger picture in mind. Yes, we are getting the company, but there are other third parties. As I said earlier, the sponsorships, the other shoe lines, the celebrities, and the people. Germany is Adidas is very popular in Germany. If we take this company, it will retrospect change the culture, the street culture, the fashion culture, the shoe culture. So you need to keep in mind what all is coming with this. They have many deals. They have Kanye West, a part of their Yeezy line. They have James Harden, part of their basketball shoe line. Many athletes are signed with Adidas. So just keep this in mind, that you are not only gaining a clothing sports company, you are gaining faces, people to represent these companies. In conclusion, I think this concept and idea should be used and accepted. You have the information you needed. You need to execute this deal. Just keep in mind your numbers and stay with the facts. No what ifs, just the facts. That's all that they really care about. Germany. If this deal does take place in Germany, that's what you need to keep in mind, which it probably will because we are the ones who are wanting to acquire this company. And this is ultimately how we should go about trying to obtain Adidas as Nike. And here is a quick sources of the graphs, and that is it.